Namaste students. Now we will see the two types of diseases, AIDS and cancer. First we will study about AIDS. What is AIDS? Is the abbreviation of acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is acquired. It does not come as such, it is acquired. So, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused by erythrovirus, RNA virus. Here, what do you mean by syndrome? Syndrome is nothing but, syndrome is actually single disease with many symptoms. Single disease with many symptoms, or it can be group of diseases. It can be group of diseases, that is called syndrome. Either single disease with many symptoms, or it can be group of diseases, that is called syndrome. So, it is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS, which is caused by a virus called, HIV. HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Human immunodeficiency virus, it is HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, and it was reported, this disease was reported for the first time in 1981. In green monkeys it was reported, in Africa, green monkey. And this virus is as an enveloped virus, it is an enveloped RNA virus. It is an enveloped RNA virus, and this is a retrovirus. It belongs to the group of retroviruses. And how the transmission of this virus occurs? How exactly it occurs? It is a deadly disease, AIDS. Transmission of this RNA virus, how it occurs? How do we contract this infection? We will see. It can be by transmission occurs by maybe by sexual contact with infected persons. Or it may be by transfusion of blood, contaminated blood, the person's blood or infected, blood is already infected with that and we are taking such type of blood sample. So, transfusion of contaminated blood and blood products, when you take it, we get the infection. The pathogen, the virus is already present in that product and we get the infection. Or it can be by sharing, infected needles, as in the case of intravenous drug abuses, they use the same needle and maybe the virus may be there and through which it will be transmitted. Actually, transmission is from body fluid to body fluid. So, then transmission will be effective. So, here from sexual partners also we get the infection, or in the case of drug addicts also. Either they use same needle, then chances are there, and mother to child, through the fetus, transmission is there through the placenta. Mother actually gives this infection or virus to the fetus through the placenta. These are the common method of transmission of this particular disease. And how this HIV, that is a virus, how it multiplies in our body. It is actually human immunodeficiency virus. As the name tells, whenever this virus gets established in the body, there will be deficiency in immune system. Immune system doesn't work properly. Because of that, many other diseases will be there. So, it is a group of disease we can say in this particular infection. Syndrome means it is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, which is caused by human immunodeficiency virus. It is RNA virus which belongs to the group of retrovirus. And how it is working. And we have the immune system in the body, and this virus is very smart enough, and that attacks the commander of our immune system. But before that, it affects or it infects the macrophages of our body. Macrophages are larger phagocytic cells, and these are actually modified monocytes. Larger phagocytic cells are called macrophages, and macrophages act as HIV factory. They do not damage the macrophages, they act as HIV factory. So, once they infect the macrophages, it will get multiplied within the macrophages. After that, they go on attacking the commander of our immune system, and that commander is T helper cells or helper T cells. T helper cells will be targeted by this particular virus. So, before that we will study the replication of retrovirus in a typical animal cell, how exactly it replicates in the animal cell. Replication of retrovirus, this is an animal cell, and animal cell, the outermost envelope is plasma membrane or the cell membrane you can find, and here there is nucleus. Then the virus, this is the enveloped virus, and there is protein coat and outer envelope in the virus. Protein coat you can find, that is outside typical virus. Then inside that you can see the genetic material, and the genetic material is RNA here. Genetic material is RNA here, so it is RNA core. RNA core, and here the virus gets attached to the animal cell, plasma membrane of the animal cell. And whenever it gets attached, the entire protein coat will not enter into the host body, only the genetic material is introduced inside the host cell. So, here you can find the viral RNA which is getting introduced into the host cell, animal cell. This is a viral RNA, and this viral RNA, it cannot be used as such, it is actually making a copy of, it helps in the production of viral DNA. So, using RNA, DNA strand is produced, this is the DNA. This is the DNA, and this process is called, where using RNA, DNA copy is produced, this process is called reverse transcription. Reverse transcription. The process is called reverse transcription, and the enzyme catalyzing this process is called reverse transcriptase. Enzyme is reverse transcriptase, and this enzyme helps in the production or formation or synthesis of DNA, viral DNA. From viral RNA, DNA is synthesized, and this DNA gets incorporated in with the host DNA. This is host DNA. The viral DNA, it gets incorporated with the host DNA. Then it dominates the host DNA, and it takes over enzymatic machinery of the host cell. Then what happens is, it makes many copies of the viral RNA. Many copies of viral RNA are made, and there will be production of new viruses inside the macrophage. And you can see copies of viruses are made, new viruses are made within this. And by lysing or making a small hole, the new viruses are ready to infect fresh cells, ready to infect new host cells. Here there is a new virus that is ready to infect other host cells. So, macrophages, they act as HIV factory, where multiplication of the viruses will be done. Then they attack the helper T cells. It is a T lymphocyte, particular type of T lymphocyte called T helper cells are attacked by the such viruses. The reason, the T helper cells are the commander of cell mediated immunity, and they detect any type of infection in the body. When the commander is affected, a detection of infection, if there is an infection, it cannot be detected, and with that intention the virus goes and attacks the T helper cells. And what will happen when T helper cells are attacked? So, definitely it will multiply within that and it will be destroying or lysing the T helper cells when it is released. So, what happens is there is a decrease in the number of T helper cells, and definitely immune system will be affected when there is a decrease in the number of T helper cells. If T helper cells are not there, detection is not possible. When detection is not possible, B lymphocyte antibodies, whichever cells are there, they cannot carry out such immune response. So, entire thing will be deficient. So, this disease is known as acquired immunodeficiency it is. So, immune system will be deficiency syndrome. So, T helper cells will be affected in this case. So, there will be a decrease in the number, progressive decrease in the number of T helper cells. Progressive decrease andre that process will be increasing, but the number of T helper cells will be reducing. T helper cells ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ the virus ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಟಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಆವಾಗ ದ ಟಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸಿನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. That's how. So, there is a deficiency in immune system, and if there is any other infection, body cannot tackle the pathogen, and there may be other infections in this particular disease. Group of diseases anta adike heludu idikke. AIDS andre is a syndrome because there will be so many other diseases, further infections when they lack immune system in the body. We will see the symptoms of HIV infection. There will be symptoms like bouts of fever, diarrhea, weakness and weight loss. These are common in the infection. Other infections are common. It can be the viral, bacterial or fungal infection. Protozoans like Toxoplasma infection is common in this. It's a protozoan. All these infections are common in this. Even sometimes brain tumor also will be there in this condition. And there is no cure as such, but it can be prevented. The disease can be prevented before coming only. But once it comes, only the lifespan can be prolonged by certain types of treatment. Otherwise, as such, a complete cure is not there for this particular disease. Here, these are the symptoms. Bout of fever, again and again fever will be there, and diarrhea, stomach upset is very common in this, and weakness will be there. They will be having weakness and weight loss. When such symptoms persist and even other infections, complications like opportunistic infections will be there. ಆ opportunityಗೆ ಕಾದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬೇರೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಮ್ಯೂನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ನೋ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಮನ್. ವೈರಲ್, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್, ಫಂಗಲ್ ಆರ್ protozoan infections are common in this. And the virus can be detected by a particular test. By a test called ELISA. Test is called ELISA, antigen antibody test it is. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. It is called enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. And ELISA is a test to detect the presence of HIV in the given sample. And here actually there is one more confirmatory test which is called Western blot. Confirmatory test called Western blot. If usually if ELISA is negative, they will not do the Western blot, but ELISA positive means they can go for the Western blot and it will be confirmed they have the virus or not, this particular virus is present in the sample or not. Okay. How to then apart from that antiretroviral drugs are also used in the treatment of this. Antiretroviral drugs are used, more than 10 drugs are available, and here the antiretroviral drugs they actually interfere with the multiplication of virus in the body. That is how they inhibit the growth or multiplication of a particular virus, these viruses in the body, and such drugs are also available. But they can the lifespan, but as such speaking they cannot completely cure the disease. So, prevention is definitely better than cure. Yeah. Okay, students, we will see how to prevent HIV infection or AIDS. Prevention of AIDS, how it can be done. AIDS has no cure, so prevention is the best option. So, it is a National AIDS Control Organization, that is NACO, Control Organization or NACO, and non-government organizations like NGOs, they are creating awareness about this deadly disease. They are creating awareness among the youth especially or people is needed. So, they are creating awareness. At the same time, WHO started a number of awareness programs to prevent the spreading of HIV infection. They are conducting, even today also they are conducting many of such programs to prevent the spreading of this particular pathogen, I mean the virus, deadly virus. So, how to go for the prevention? So, the following steps can be taken, measures can be taken. One is making blood safe from infections. So, should be checked, test should be done, and it should be safer without any contamination by the same pathogen. Then use of disposable needles and syringes in almost all the hospitals, that is government hospital, public hospitals, private hospitals as well as clinics to be practiced. Use of disposable needles and syringes to be used, and free distribution of condoms, Then apart from that, controlling drug abuse. That is the important thing, controlling drug abuse, otherwise they use the same needles. And advocating safer sex methods, advocating safe sex, and a regular checkup for susceptible population which are having more susceptibility to this virus, their regular checkup have to be done. So, these are the important steps for that prevention of HIV infection. Then one more thing we have to remember here, HIV is actually in the beginning stage we call it as HIV, not AIDS. End of that infection is, last stage is actually AIDS. And HIV positive patients or victims should be treated with sympathy. Actually, by sharing the utensils or clothes or towels, or maybe on shaking hands, when you shake hand with such people, disease will not spread. It will spread only through body fluid to body fluid, transmission is there. So, on such things it will not spread. So, we have to create awareness among the people and especially the younger generation, and they have to maintain such a condition, they should be aware of that. Actually, so when they study about these things, they have the knowledge, and definitely they know know that there is no cure for such type of disease. Okay. So, the creating awareness is very, very important in such type of infection. That is about AIDS. And we will move on to another type of dangerous disease called cancer, and it is taking more life than any other disease now. Another deadly disease is cancer. What is cancer? So, it is nothing but uncontrolled mitotic division in the body leading to the formation of tumor. Generally, cells have a special property. The property is called contact inhibition. Contact inhibition. Contact inhibition. Here in contact inhibition, generally whenever the cell is growing, enlargement occurs. When it reaches the neighboring cell, on contacting the neighboring cell, it will stop dividing, and this is called contact inhibition. This is called contact inhibition. This is the property of normal cell. Normal cells, they have a property called contact inhibition. On contacting neighboring cells, they will stop growing or dividing. But cancer cells, they do not have such property, they keep on dividing, they produce large number of cells without any control. So, we call it as uncontrolled mitotic division. So, usually such division will be controlled, and it will be usually monitored in our body. But when such a control is lost, it is not monitored, then there will be problem like this, tumor formation will be there. So, cancer cells, they do not have the property called contact inhibition, because of which accumulation of cells will be there. So, usually when it contacts neighboring cell, it will stop dividing or stop growth, but in cancerous cells, even after that it will accumulate and large number of cells will be produced without definite shape. Cells are produced, mass of cells are produced, leading to the formation of tumor. So, in the cancerous cells, contact inhibition is lost. Contact inhibition is absent. In cancer cells. The types of tumors form, there are two types. Benign and malignant. Benign and malignant. And benign tumor found in only one location, and it will not spread to other regions. It will not spread to other regions, that is benign tumor. Whereas malignant tumor, here they detach from primary area to other areas through blood or lymph. Through blood or lymph, they migrate to other areas and they form secondary tumors in that region. They may lead to the formation of secondary tumors. This is dangerous type. Only malignant tumors are rightly known as cancers. This is dangerous. Malignant tumor or cancer is dangerous, whereas benign tumor can be surgically removed and it can be treated, whereas malignancies have to be treated properly, but that is a dangerous one. Once it starts detaching from the primary site, it will reach almost all the parts of our body, and there again it will start dividing. So, leading to further complications. And when they get detached from primary site, that is spreading of cancerous cells to other parts of the body is called metastasis. It is called metastasis, where from the primary site it will spread to other regions via or through blood or lymph, and this property is called metastasis. They move or circulate in the blood or lymph, they reach another site, there again they start dividing. That is a dangerous type of cancer, that is malignant cancer. So, spreading is seen in malignancies, whereas a benign tumor, it will not spread to other parts of the body. And what is the reason for such type of cancerous growth? Actually, they form new tumors in other region from the primary site if they migrate to other parts. So, from there again they can migrate to other parts of the body. So, the continuous process, metastasis is a continuous process. They form tumors throughout the body. In the early stage, detection has to be done. So, we will see what are the reasons for such tumors in our body. Agent or substance which causes cancer, agents or substances which cause cancer is called carcinogen. Any agent that causes cancer is called carcinogen, and this carcinogen can be of three types. Types of carcinogen: physical carcinogen, chemical carcinogen, and biological carcinogen. Physical carcinogen, chemical carcinogen and biological carcinogens. Physical carcinogens are radiations. Physical carcinogens are radiations. Which radiation? Ionizing radiations and non-ionizing radiations. Ionizing radiations and non-ionizing radiations. they act as carcinogens. Ionizing radiations are X-rays and gamma rays. X-rays and gamma rays are ionizing radiations, whereas UV rays are non-ionizing radiation. They are potent carcinogenic agents. When you take chemical carcinogen, tobacco smoke. Tobacco smoke is one such carcinogenic agent. It is a potent carcinogen. And apart from that, aromatic amines and azo-dyes also, they are carcinogenic in nature. They produce cancer. So, they are cancer causing agents. Main one is tobacco smoke, and there is a main reason for lung cancer. Then apart from that, aromatic amines and azo-dyes, they also cause cancer. When it is biological carcinogen, usually viral oncogenes are one type of carcinogen. Then apart from that, these are nothing but viral genes that transform normal cells into cancer cells or abnormal cells. Cancer cells or abnormal cells. Then other than that, there are cellular oncogenes or in our body, cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes are there. Cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes are there. These are normal genes when activated under certain conditions induce oncogenic transformation of normal cells. Proto-oncogenes are normal genes only, but when it is under certain condition, abnormally activated, it may cause cancer or cancerous growth in the normal cells or oncogenic transformation. Normal cells iddadu cancerous cells agi badalagtade. So, oncogenic transformation of the normal cells. So, these are when it is abnormally activated, actually not the normal one. Normal condition they will be present in the inactive form. These are called cellular oncogenes or proto-oncogenes, or even viral oncogenes are also responsible for such type of cancer. So, these are biological carcinogens, Now, we will see the next one, that is detection and diagnosis part of cancer. We will see detection and diagnosis. Detection and diagnosis. Here, cancer can be detected by cancerous cells, can be detected by various tests It may be blood test or further by histopathological studies. Biopsy, or it can be using scanning techniques, normal ultrasound scanning where X-rays are used, or it can be CT scan or MRI. CT scan is computed tomography, where X-rays are used to obtain three-dimensional image. Three-dimensional image of internal organs. Three-dimensional image of internal organs. In MRI, it is magnetic resonance imaging. Magnetic resonance imaging is MRI. Strong magnetic fields are used to identify abnormal cells or tissues within the body. Abnormal cells or tissues within the body, that is magnetic resonance image. And similarly, PET scan is also there, PET, PET scan, that is positron emission tomography. So, CT scan, MRI, all any other ultrasound where it is using X-rays. Here biopsy and histopathological study, when you take where tissue is collected from the person, diagnosed after preparing a slide. Histopathological details are studied after making a slide of the same, and the smear should be collected from the affected part only. If it goes this side or that side, smear may not be containing the abnormal cells. If it has the abnormal cells, it can be detected. So, the exact taking the smear, location of that tumor is very, very important in biopsy and histopathological studies. Biopsy means collecting that tissue from that part, then it is undergoing histopathological studies after preparing the slide. So, identification can be done whether it is abnormal cell or normal cell, that can be done. And then another technique is some of the genes, some of the hereditary genetic composition in such a way that some persons are more prone to such type of disease. Genetic predisposition, in the sense that certain people are more susceptible to cancer than others due to certain genes. they have certain genes, especially the lung cancer is like that, especially lung cancer genes. Hereditary reason is there. Then apart from that, breast cancer also. Lung cancer and breast cancer, they have this genetic predisposition. Certain populations or certain people are more susceptible to such type of cancers than others, because they have a combination of genes, they are prone to that infection, because hereditary reasons are there. Lung cancer and breast cancer, they come. Actually breast cancer we say that BRCA gene, and sisters they will may have possess the gene. So that has to be done. So here that can be identified. That is about the detection and diagnosis. If the detection is done in the early stage, it can be cured. In the first stage itself, if it is detected. After metastasis, it becomes little difficult for treatment. But early stage, first stage itself, if it is detected, it can be definitely cured. And we will see the treatment aspect of cancer. Treatment of cancer. The common approaches to treatment of cancer are, it can be treated by surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, therapy, and immunotherapy. Immunotherapy. Surgery. If it is usually by surgery, tumors can be removed. Benign tumors definitely can be cured by surgery. Even in malignant tumor also, surgery will be done, followed by chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is chemicals or drugs will be given to control the spreading of tumorous cells or cancer cells, neoplastic cells. So drug will be given, drugs, chemotherapy, and sometimes radiation dosage will be given, so that cell division is blocked or halted there only, it will not continue dividing. In radiotherapy, tumor is irradiated with radiations. So that will kill the abnormal cells, that will kill the abnormal cells. But this abnormal cells, no, when it is killed, may affect neighboring cells also. There is a chance that neighboring cells may affect the neighboring cells, neighboring cells can be affected, then there will be hair loss, pigmentation, much weakness. These are common in radiation therapy. And main thing in cancer or the tumor is it will escape, cancerous cells they escape immunosurveillance. Immune system cannot recognize cancerous cells in the body because they have the same marker. For that purpose, another technique called immunotherapy is employed. In immunotherapy, immune system is activated. Immune system of the body is activated to tackle or to control the tumors, to control the tumors. And such one biological response modifier, biological response modifiers are there, like alpha interferon. Alpha interferon is a biological response modifier that actually used in the treatment of cancer. Alpha interferon is a type of biological response modifier which will stimulate the immune system to fight against the cancerous cells. So, such biological response modifiers are used. These are alpha interferons are biological response modifier which is used in the treatment of cancer. That is about the treatment of cancer. Here it can be treated by surgery, by removing the tumor part, or surgical removal or operation it can be done, or drugs, chemicals can be given to control the division, cell division, or it can be radiations or radiotherapy where the tumor is irradiated with radiations of particular dosage will be there, dose will be there to kill the abnormal cells. But there will be side effect in this. It may affect neighboring cells also, or hair loss will be there, pigmentation will be there, and weakness. This is a common in radiotherapy. Then apart from that, immune system gets activated when immunotherapy is done. Such immunotherapy can be done by using system modifier or biological response modifier. Our response should be intensified, and such modifiers are alpha interferon, so that our immune system only attacks the tumorous cells. Actually, basically immune system cannot identify the cancer cells because they have self marker. It is identified as self. The cell which is identified as non-self will be targeted. Cancer cells are nammade cells. So, our immune system usually it will not detect the self cells as non-self. Abnormal cells also can be identified as normal cells or self cells. And the biological response modifier actually identifies such cells and as non-self, and it will be destroyed. So, such biological response modifier is alpha interferon.